I'm Evan A, and I'm retired early in Vietnam, but trust me, it's not for everyone. So these are 9 reasons why you should never retire in Vietnam or probably Thailand or Malaysia if this video is for you. If it's not, power to you. I'll see you here at the beach or the bar or the cafe, and we'll enjoy a drink together. But trust me, it's not for everyone. So if you're thinking about retiring in Vietnam, this video is definitely for you, or if it's thinking about Thailand, that's one of your options. It's for you. You've seen the videos, guys just like me, drinking coconuts on the beach, claiming they live like kings for 1,200 bucks a month. Yes, it's possible. Yes, it's doable. No, it's not for everyone. And yeah, technically those budgets and numbers are true, but here's the thing, the big catch, what means it might not actually be for you is that you lose all of the things you expect in Florida. Heck, this isn't even Mexico. It is way different. You're not moving to a cheaper version of America or Canada or the UK or even Australia. You're moving to an entirely different side of the planet. One that will chew up the soft, entitled strip mall version of you and spit you out into the humidity 6 months later. You're stressed about what to do after your first 90-day visa. Most of you only last 89 days. The rewards are incredible, but this lifestyle is just straight up not for everyone. Otherwise, they'd all be here. So here it is, 9 reasons you should never retire or in Vietnam unless you're one of the few, the outcasts, the opt-outs, the opt-ins, the cast-outs, whatever you want to call it. Number 1, the culture shock is real and it's permanent. There is no melting pot, no kumbaya moment. There are locals and there are foreigners. You are a guest here forever, even with the new passport law. You can learn the language, marry in, raise kids, you'll still be an expat. Welcome, respected, sometimes admired, but never local. And if you're the type who needs to be understood or validated, you're gonna suffer because of that, because the culture is not built around you here. It's built around people who are actually from here. And you have to adapt to their ways, not the other way around. The first few weeks are a dream, vacation, cheap food, sunshine, friendly smiles, but the grind will set in. Babies on motorbikes, karaoke's at midnight, smoke in the cafes, trash fires at dawn. You'll want to fix things. You can't. You'll realize this isn't Asia as you imagined. It's real life, and real life here doesn't bend to your Western comforts. You didn't come here to change it. You came here to change you. So you're gonna have to work on that. In the West, you expect systems and order. In Southeast Asia, everything lives in a gray area. Traffic lights are suggestion, paperwork is performance art. Sometimes it's charming, sometimes it's chaos, but that's the point. If your instinct is to fix it, you'll go crazy. If you can loosen your grip, you'll start to see there's rhythm beneath the chaos at surface level. But the culture shock strips you bare. All your expectations, your entitlement, and your invisible Western armor will slip away. It will humble you. When you stop judging, you start noticing the good stuff. The neighbor who brings you fruit for no reason or buys you a coffee at 5 a.m., the kid who laughs at your accent but still helps you find your way, the resilience of people who've lived through more change in 20 years than most of us will ever see. Culture shock doesn't just disappear, it just transforms you. One day, the same thing that once annoyed you becomes the background hum of a life you can't imagine living without. If you can't adapt, you will have to find a new you. If you can't, stay home. But if you can, that's where the real transformation begins in a new life, retired and living overseas. Number 2, healthcare is not plug and play. It doesn't matter how modern it's got. Southeast Asia's healthcare is a tale of two worlds as far as I'm concerned. In Saigon, Bangkok, or Hanoi, private hospitals are immaculate, air-conditioned cathedrals of efficiency where you can get an MRI, a diagnosis, and a cappuccino before your American insurer ever returns your phone call. But if you step outside the big cities, the story can change fast. A motorbike accident on a rural road might end at a roadside clinic lit by a nurse's phone flashlight with a cat on the counter and no doctor after 5 p.m. The infrastructure gap is real and locals know it. That's why families drive hours for hospital appointments in town. Public hospitals like the one in Da Nang 199 are often packed and chaotic. Fans instead of air cons, hallways full of waiting families, nurses shouting names in a language you don't understand. You wait, you pay cash, you smile. The private system solves most of that, but it isn't free. Expect 40 to 60 bucks for checkup, 2 to 400 for an ER visit, and 1,000 to 3,000 for small day surgeries. Major emergencies can mean five-figure hospital bills or medical evacuation to Bangkok or Singapore or back home. And that's why smart expats carry global health insurance, whether it's Safety Wing, Cigna, Alliance, whatever. Something that covers Medevac as well as treatment. Even with good care, maintenance medicine takes planning. Specialists rotate through on specific days. Miss dermatology Tuesday and you wait another week. Pharmacies can sell almost everything over the counter, including cheap antibiotics, which can make self-management both easy but also risky. You need to learn to keep your own records, double-check dosages, and fly to Bangkok for annual checkups if you're titchy about that kind of thing. Emotionally, the adjustment is huge. In the West, the system just takes care of you. Here, you have to take care of yourself and probably get help to do it. You ride slower, eat fresher, and realize that prevention is your real insurance. Healthcare here is pay first, plan ahead, and stay alert. The trade-off, a simpler life that costs a quarter as much, if you come prepared and ready to take care of yourself and not have a granny state take care of you. Number 3, visa rule changes. Like the weather, they blow in and out. The 6-month visa your buddy bragged about in 2022, gone. Thailand tweaks retirement requirements like a mood ring. Vietnam updates its e-visa rules and exemptions so often every embassy staff members can shrug. You'll find YouTubers promising easy paths, student visas, business setups, magic loopholes, but immigration can change on a day and it can change when you're already here. This isn't a one-time process, it's a living organism. If bureaucracy makes you sweat, you won't last long enough to find your favorite banh mi stall. There is no guarantee what's okay or legal today will be tomorrow. At first, it feels simple. Fill out a form, pay online, print the letter, maybe a little grift, and you're sipping coconut coffee, thinking you cracked the code. Then you realize that the visa isn't renewable, order runs are banned, or something changes, and the rules you read last month are gone today. Thailand asked retirees for money in the bank, but now they also ask for continuous deposits and quarterly check-ins and yada yada. You miss a signature, you can be out. Vietnam, 90 days for now, but it used to be longer, then it was shorter, then it was longer again. It'll change. The only thing you know for sure is that it'll change. Will you? Can you be flexible? Getting or extending a visa here is a performance. Photocopies, signatures, photos, half-inch stacks, smiles, passport photos, red stamps, maybe a little bit of cash. You'll queue for hours. You'll come back Tuesday. Then miraculously a friend of a friend makes a call and yada boom, everything's approved. It's frustrating, funny, and sometimes downright infuriating. That's the secret. People who thrive abroad don't outsmart the system. They just accept it. They hire agents, they over-prepare, they stay flexible, they wait patiently. The real price of Southeast Asia residency isn't cash, it's patience, man. Visas here aren't just paperwork, they're a personality test, and the only people who pass are the ones who can laugh, adapt, and just keep showing up and being persistent and rolling with the punches, because you will get hit. Number 4, the language barrier and the infamous expat bubble. Yes, Vietnamese uses the Latin alphabet. You might be able to pick up some reading pretty quick, especially driving around on a bike, but don't be fooled. Those accent marks are linguistic booby traps. The word ma can mean ghost, mother, rice, seating, or horse, depending on tone. I've tried to order chicken rice and somehow asked for ghosts. The woman laughed, nodded, brought me beef stew. That's the rhythm of daily life here. Accept your mistakes. Kindness, confusion, comedy, laugh it off. Many foreigners eventually just retreat into the bubble of craft beer, of Western food, of aircon, English menus, and predictability. Inside, life feels easy. Your latte at Starbucks tastes the same every morning, and you can watch your inevitable Leafs loss at 8 a.m. But step outside into a wet market or a pharmacy and you're miming again, gesturing wildly, hoping Google Translate doesn't turn "I have a sore throat" into "I am low." And of course, every day is day one, because nobody knows anything other than you being a foreigner. The gap can start to wear on you. You miss being articulate. You miss being back home where you're funny. You miss having people listen to you. It's humbling and it's isolating. That's when expats split into two tribes. One group leans in, They learn the basics, laugh at their mistakes, make friends, and slowly grow roots. The other builds a fortress of imported cheese and Western wine and habits and living 10 years abroad without ever learning how to say hello to their taxi driver. Outside the English-speaking zones, you discover the real country, unfiltered, untranslated, alive. Paying a bill, ordering gas, finding a doctor, it all feels like a small victory, and that vulnerability, that's where the growth happens. Learning the language won't make you local, but it makes you human here and it makes you people appreciate you. You start to feel the warmth behind words, even if you don't understand them all. You get it. You get the body language. The language barrier isn't just about vocabulary, it's about humility. It asks whether you came to change your life or just to change the backdrop behind your Instagram photo. Those who learn to listen, gesture, laugh, and try, they're the ones who actually live here. The rest just move their apartment and their life to a cheaper version of home that they call Asia. Bureaucracy, banking, and paperwork that would make Kafka laugh then cry. Opening a bank account here isn't a 10-minute errand unless it's at Timo. It's a live-action escape room designed by Kafka and sponsored by the Ministry of Red Stamps. You'll fill out triplicate forms, sign documents you can't read, and shuffle between counters until someone finally hands you an account number and a pen that doesn't work. That's the charm and the curse of doing anything official in Southeast Asia. It all works, just never exactly in the same way twice and never the way you expected it to. Welcome to the biometric era. Plenty of clickbait videos out on this now. In Vietnam, Thailand, and Malaysia, banks now snap your photo and scan your fingerprints when you open or update your accounts. If you're on a tourist or short-term visa, brace yourself. Every 90 days, you might need to prove your visa still exists to keep your bank account open. Try bank runs like visa runs. It's not personal, it's policy. The teller will smile, take your passport, and remind you to come back next time you extend your stay. And the documentation dance, legendary. Everything requires copies of your passport, your visa, your lease, sometimes your pink book, your red book, your blue book, your landlord's ID. Miss one step and the process stops dead. I bring my marriage certificate everywhere. I've got dozens of copies. The right office can close in 5 minutes and then it's return tomorrow with one more paper, but there's a rainstorm. The system rewards persistence, not efficiency. Money transfers in banking can be equally unpredictable. Expect your signature to be checked dozens of times every time you want to do a wire transfer or change more than a few $1,000s in cash and currencies. So you adapt, document, print backups, keep a local fixer on speed dial if you don't have personalized help. The mindset shifts. System prevent mistakes here. They prove you tried. Bureaucracy isn't broken, it's just a maze. Don't fight it, flow through it, bring your patience, a sense of humor, and more photocopies than you think humanly necessary or possible. Because between the visa runs, bank runs, and fingerprint scans, you'll start to feel like you literally work for the government, even if you're retired. Number 6, the heat, the rain, and the smog. The climate here is incredible. Can you see the sweat on my face? You think you love tropical weather until your third rainy season. When it rains here, it doesn't drizzle. The skies detonate. The sky opens up like a busted pipe in my bedroom and entire streets disappear beneath brown water. Scooters stall mid-traffic, sandals float away, bushes are pushed through rivers. Kids start swimming beside delivery drivers who still somehow smoke cigs all the way through it. It's funny the first few times, then it's just life. Monsoon season isn't an event, it's a lifestyle. From Da Nang to Bangkok to Kuala Lumpur to Phnom Penh, the pattern repeats. Blue skies by morning, thunder by lunch, downpour by mid-afternoon. You'll watch the world vanish behind a curtain of water, then reappear in steaming sunlight 10 minutes later. Mosquitoes emerge like paratroopers, the power flickers, you learn to keep flashlights charged, laundry hung indoors, and your sense of humor within reach, because eventually your street food will flood and someone's plastic chair will float by like a ghost ship in the night. Then dry season hit and it's the opposite kind of punishment. 2 seasons here, baby, wet and hot, hot and dry. The heat doesn't let up, it stalks you. It's 38°C, humidity north of 90%, and your shirt's been wet since breakfast. You'll open your fridge just to cool off and start bargaining with the gods for a breeze. Everyone says they love tropical weather until they realize it's like an endurance sport. There are no cool nights, only slightly less hot ones. If you run at noon, everyone will laugh at you. And then there's the smog, 10 million scooters, endless construction dust, and a seasonal crop burning mix into a haze so thick it turns sunset to neon. You check the AQ app daily like a stock ticker, invest in air purifiers, and start comparing mass brands like sneakerheads. When burning season hits across Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and northern Vietnam, you'll smell the smoke from a country away. Even your bed sheets remember it. So you adapt, you buy linen shirts, carry an umbrella like armor, and plan life around the weather. Ultimately, you live slower because you have to. You're dependent on it. That's the secret nobody tells you. The heat, the rain, and the smog don't just test you, they train you. They slow you down. They force you to live in the rhythm of the place. Anyone can love Southeast Asia in December, but if you still love it in August, drenched, sweating, and smiling anyway, I might be wrong, and you might be one of us retired in Asia. Number 7, it's a big one. I feel it all the time. Friends come and go. Expat life is transient. You'll meet incredible people out here. Digital nomads, retired teachers, burned out execs, poets on the runs, crypto dreamers, divorcees rebuilding their lives on beach beers and borrowed time. You'll bond instantly over lost luggage, broken Wi-Fi, and the shared absurdity of explaining this life to the people back home who still don't believe you. You'll think, finally, my tribe. Then, 6 months later, half of them are gone, visa expired, business failed, marriage collapsed, burned out, moved on, vanished. Expat life is musical chairs, and every few months, somebody's missing from the game. If you crave roots, the same friends, the same bar, the same routines, this one can hurt. Out here, connections burn bright and fast. You meet on Tuesday, road trip by Friday, and say goodbye without warning on Monday morning. It's beautiful and brutal at the same time, but if you thrive on motion or reinvention instead of routine, this life can feel electric. Nobody cares where you came from, they just ask what you're doing tonight. Dating can add another layer of chaos. In Vietnam, relationships move slow, and expectations can feel transactional. Provider dynamics can be real. Thailand, open, fluid, intoxicating, and full of red flags waving behind those smiles. The Philippines, more faith-driven and English-speaking, can offer real connection, but only if you show up with humility and patience, not fantasies and shortcuts. Each country rewrites the rules, the common denominator. You've got to know who you are and if you can retire here. Because even in paradise, loneliness sets in. The sunsets, scooters, and smiles don't protect you from the empty nights. If you can't handle impermanence, if every goodbye feels like a crisis, this life will crush you. But if you can laugh through the heartbreak, pay your own way, rebuild your circle every few months, and keep showing up, you'll find a strange kind of peace in the flux, in the change, in the ebb and the flow. Life in Southeast Asia isn't about permanence, it's about presence for most expats. The people, the love stories, the friendships, they're all temporary, but they're real while they last. Nothing's guaranteed but the experience, and if that's enough for you, if you can love the impermanence itself, then maybe you're built for this life. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you will retire in Vietnam or Thailand or the Philippines or wherever the heck is just right for you. But last one, second last one, number 8, it's not cheap forever. The days of $300 rent and $1 bong mi are mostly gone. Da Nang, Nha Trang, maybe Hoi An, they're holding on, the once sleepy budget coastal gems, but they're Instagram famous, they're plastered across digital nomads paradise listicles, and the moment a place gets called paradise, the countdown begins. Prices rise, menus change, landlords get smart. It's not because of me or YouTube, it's because of the new international airport and the mega resort. In 2019, you could rent an apartment here for half the price. It's the same in Bangkok. Prices are just going up, that's real. Electricity can double in the hot months. Grab rides can go from 50 cents to $1. It makes a difference. The Cafe Suda that once cost 25K now costs 50K in Ho Chi Minh. Supply meets demand. Every new wave of newcomers raises the tide. When you fill a town with expats paying in dollars, the math just starts to shift. Vietnam's still a bargain. $1,200 to $1,800 a month buys a comfortable life with healthcare and nights out. But the mythical $1,000 total freedom story, that was probably for the early adopters who got a bit of a discount. The same trends rolling through Thailand, where Chiang Mai apartments have doubled in a decade. Bangkok condos are well over $1,000. Bali villas, catastrophic, stratospheric. Even Malaysia's catching up with their MM2H going up in price. Just a fair price for what they're offering and people getting wise to the game. If you're here purely because it's cheap, you're living on borrowed time. Inflation's the final visa check. It weeds out the tourists from the lifers. The ones who stay aren't ultimately chasing cheap, they're chasing lifestyle. Because the real question isn't how long will it stay cheap, it's how long will you still want to live here if it isn't cheap anymore? If the answer is yes, if you love the rhythm, the food, the chaos, the culture, the people, the language, then you'll adapt and you'll stay. But if you're only here for the discount, don't unpack too deeply. Paradise can never stay on sale forever. All right, so if you've made it this far and you're still thinking, yes, I'm in, I want to move to Vietnam, then you are probably one of us, probably one of the few, the ones who adapt, adjust, and thrive, who stay curious and flexible and change in their new context. If so, check out my Move to Vietnam 60-minute masterclass. It's everything you need to get set up for your first 90 to 180 days on the ground. Visa, housing, healthcare, money, and day-to-day life tips. I've done this here for the last 6 years. I've helped dozens, if not hundreds, of expats start their life here right. Click the link below, watch it now, save yourself a bit of time and money by finding out if the move to Vietnam is actually right for you, because I guarantee you it is not for everyone. And you never want to be the one who makes the mistake. All right, what's the last item? The number 9 on the list. We're there. You've weathered the truth with me. This is the bonus. The number 9, I've said it before, I'll say it again. You cannot escape yourself. A lot of people moving here are running from something. Debt, divorce, burnout, boredom. They think Southeast Asia will fix them. It will not. You will wake up with the same mind, just better weather and possibly cheaper beer. That's the real secret. Geography doesn't erase your psychology. This life won't change you for you. It changes you if you let it. You'll learn patience when immigration closes for lunch, right as you reach the window. Humility when you can't explain your symptoms to a doctor. Adaptability when the power dies out mid-shower or when you're trying to work online. And eventually you just surrender, because life here isn't about control. It's about a release from your past and opting out. So here's the truth. Most people probably shouldn't move to Vietnam from America, and that's okay. If you need Target, Starbucks, or your old life with palm trees, this place can crush you. You'll miss what's gone instead of seeing what's actually here. But if you can laugh at the chaos, eat on plastic stools, and find joy in the strange, then maybe you're welcome. Maybe you're one of the few. You'll wake to the hum of 10,000 motorbikes and realize you didn't downgrade your life, you escaped it. You traded sameness for stories, predictability for possibility. Stay long enough and the chaos starts to sound like music. At the end of the day, even Anthony Bourdain never ended up living in Vietnam. I'm Evan A., retired early in Vietnam. If you're actually ready, check the links below. I'll help you out. If not, watch another video on how I actually saved and managed to retire here, or this one and all the different destinations I recommend across Southeast Asia. Thanks so much for watching.